Me? No, I'm freezing.
Mary's in here like all snugged up like she's...
Cold.
Remember the guy that died in the alley in Scrooged? That's what she looks like. Guy that dies in the sewers because he can't find a place to sleep.
Is it 66 degrees in here?
Huh?
Maybe 67?
67.3.
BS, man. B.
That's too cold?
Yeah, that's like 5 degrees too cold.
Huh. You and your boyfriend fight over the thermostat?
No, we keep it at 70. I wear sweatpants and a hoodie.
70? In the house?
He would rather have it like
70.
this, like 68, 67, 68, but I would rather have it at 72 or
God.
3.
What do you have, skin like tissue paper or what?
Cold. This is not a comfortable temperature for 67 degrees is not a comfortable room temperature.
Wow, really?
And I don't think that people would disagree with me on that.
My house is at 65 degrees, baby.
Well, people hate living there, I bet.
No, they don't. My wife runs hot, so she's always like, God, why is it so hot in here? I go, it's 65 degrees. I'm like, you can turn it down if you want.
Well, thank you.
70.
70, and I wear sweatpants, a hoodie, and socks pretty much the entire time. And I'll sit under a blanket at home.
Sexy. She comes home.
He said something.
Sweatpants, socks, blanket.
Dude, I told him,
Wow.
I said, you want me to walk around in little baby underpants and a tank top? Then put
It better be 85
That's
in here.
That's exactly what I said.
Baby
Said,
underpants.
Crank it. I'll wear booty
don't-
shorts every day if it's 78.
Please call them booty shorts and not baby underpants.
Little baby underpants.
They've got the days of the week on the front.
Uh-huh. Well, summertime, because we'll just, I mean, not like next week it's going to be in the 70s and stuff, so we'll just have the windows open. But that'll be shorts weather. It threw him off the other day. Last week when it was warm, what was that, last Wednesday or something? It was like 80 for no reason. Whenever that was, we had the windows open and he came home and I took a blanket off and I had shorts on and he was like, "Oh wow, I wasn't expecting to see you in shorts."
It was the big reveal.
Yeah.
All excited. Wow.
Sorry, you don't see my legs anymore. It's 70 degrees in here.
Okay, well, 70 degrees. I know some people like it really hot. Poundcake's talked about how he likes to turn the set up too. Or his family does or something.
In my apartment, I had the thermostat set at like 75 so that it would be a consistent 72, 73 degrees.
Wow.
What did you say that I
Didn't
do?
you say that you like it hot in your house too?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh, you don't?
No, I prefer it cold because I can sleep in the cold and I can always put more blankets on. If it's 75...
Isn't that a black stereotype though? That you like the heat like super cranked? I remember I've dated like 3 black girls in my life, right?
Hey, some have dated none, so...
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, and that's hardly a big enough group to draw, but that one of them was like, yeah, that's the stereotype, and it's true.
Well, I mean, my mom, it may have been a stereotype, but my mom was too cheap to put the heat up that high, so she's like, you better touch the
Right.
thermostat and I'll kill you.
Oh, I see.
She would threaten my life.
It's a
and
money
then
thing, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
go put on a sweater or several layers of socks and then carry on a Lion King blanket and call it a day.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, but now not only would she not turn on the heat in the house, well, it would be on, but it would just be low. She wouldn't even use AC in her car. So no matter how hot it was, windows always down.
Our parents lied and told us that well, I think
It
we've
burns
talked about
more
this on air.
gas.
Yeah, that the air conditioning uses more gas.
I think it technically does, but it's like
It's
Minuscule,
negligible.
yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
and I came back with her with some science, and she didn't have a response. I said, "Yeah, but with the windows down, you're making it less aerodynamic,
More drag.
so she was like, well, guess what? When you get your own car, you can crank the AC.
Do
Do whatever you want.
And now
Science is a liar sometimes.
I do it just to spite her now. Even when she's in the car, she's like, my achy bones. I'm like, well, should have turned on the AC when I was a kid.
My achy bones.
You're keeping it so cold in your car that it's making her bones ache.
I make it.
Wow.
My car is like
He's got icicles off his nose.
it's like 60 degrees at all times in my car.
That's so cold.
I can see my breath sometimes driving
Oh my
in
gosh. No, thank you.
because I can have it cold. I just
So if your mom's in your car, rather than making her comfortable in your car,
she make me comfortable.
you're trying to take revenge on her from
petty
when you were a
officer.
child.
She could drive,
Most people have gotten over their childhood stuff by the time they're your age.
but I say who needs to be more comfortable? When I was a kid, it was my mother. My mother's driving. She had precious cargo, so she had to be comfortable. Now I have precious cargo, and I need to drive comfortable, so I need AC.
Are you the precious cargo?
No, she's the precious cargo.
Oh,
but
she's
I'm,
the precious.
Roles
I
are
have to be
reversed.
comfortable driving.
But he needs to be
Right.
comfortable so that he doesn't
Crash.
get all sweaty and then crash.
It
You know,
slips.
The wheel slips out of his hand. Oh no!
my eyebrows, drip sweat and gets into my eyes, and then,
We'll turn the heat down to like 68 at night, but that's about as low as it gets.
I can't remember a single time in my childhood that I ever touched the thermostat. Like that's like a taboo in my house.
Well, yeah, I think I think any house, the kids aren't supposed to touch the thermostat because they don't pay the bills.
But even as an
Right.
adult,
Well,
I mean, I didn't live with my mom, but when those times when my mom didn't, clean my room for me when I was coming home from college and there was a bunch of clothes in there, I never thought to turn up the thermostat. I still didn't cross that boundary.
yeah, now, you can change the thermostat on your phone.
Yeah.
If we're in bed and Gwen goes, hey, can you turn the thermostat, up or down or whatever? I'll do it on the app. Imagine if our parents had a thermostat app when
Had
we were
a
kids.
Nest.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't care if you mess with the thermostat because they just check their phone and go, nope, back down to 55.
Nice
But then
try.
lock it.
Yeah, lock it.
There's so many things like you could get away with, but even besides like the thermostat thing. But if parents knew how to work, like if iPhones were around when you were kids and they knew how to Find My iPhone, no one could sneak out or anything. Like it takes the fun out of being a kid.
You just leave your phone.
But how would you go anywhere?
You turn your location services off.
Because I feel like kids who sneak out, they need to get an Uber. They can't drive necessarily. So you need someone.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
go.
you just got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a sneak out house.
I wasn't either.
I mean, we
Yeah,
had
we
bars in
didn't
the
have to
windows
sneak
too,
Mary,
so it
you
made it
never
hard.
snuck out?
We didn't have a lot of rules by that time. By the time I was
They-
trying
they
to,
just didn't care.
No, after my parents got divorced, they both checked out. My dad felt guilty for leaving. My mom went and did her own thing, and so we kind of had
It was like a bunch of
kind of
PTSD
do
all
whatever
around.
we wanted.
Parenting yourselves?
Yeah, essentially.
When my mom would ground us, my brother and I knew that was essentially letting us off the hook because no one could enforce the grounding. My mom would fall asleep, and she worked 12-hour shifts, so she'd sleep half the day and working for the other half. We're gonna go out and play. We're not about to sit in the house because we're
Right.
grounded.
You guys really benefited from your mom sleeping all the time and working so much.
I mean,
Your mom
yeah.
wasn't even a single mom. Your mom was like a quarter mom. She's like half of a single mom.
Well-
because she was sleeping and working, and you guys were running around.
Those were the only days that those are only on days that she worked though. She would only work 3 days a week. So yes.
so 4 days every week you guys had her around.
Yeah.
But didn't that really throw off her schedule, sleeping through the day for 3 days and then
That's
regular days? the
nurse
rest-
life,
nurses
man.
and
Yeah, that's-
doctors
Is that what it is?
and
That's just how it is.
firefighters, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So I mean,
That's rough.
I don't know how her schedule was, but she could have them 3 days in a row if she wanted to. But
Yeah,
she
how would
just-
you get used to that?
You don't.
I had a
Oof.
friend. I still have a friend. He's a ER doctor, and he does 3/16s. So he'll
Whoa.
do 3 back to back to back 16 days,
Yeah.
16-hour days, and then he has 4 days off every week. So he only works three days a week, but they're 3
That's
back to
long.
back to
Really
back
hard
16-hour
days,
shifts.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
And my parents didn't really have any. We didn't have to sneak out because my mom would be like, "Where's this loser going?
Yeah,
got no
You're gonna-
friends.
You're going out to get a GameCube at midnight? Okay, have fun."
Loser.
Yeah, my mom would be happy. Like, I just want to make sure that you're comfortable and you're hanging out with your friends and they treat you well.
You guys are watching the same 8 episodes of The Simpsons again? All right. Have a good night.
You got one leg out the window. Where are you going? Nowhere. Okay, just be back soon.
It's just warm.
Oh, we're just going to Denny's again, just to be somewhere. I wasn't I wasn't a good student, and I get into trouble, but I wasn't drinking or getting in trouble with the cops or anything like that. Like I was just like silly.
I was.
Yeah.
I was getting picked up from the cops and toilet paper in people's houses and all kinds
We
of stuff.
toilet papered a few houses, but never got in trouble for it.
What is the allure of toilet papering a house?
It's someone you don't like. And you're like, haha, now you have to clean this up.
We did it to people that we did like.
We only did it to people that we hated. If we didn't like you, that was when we toilet
We
papered
did
your
it
house.
to like people, like church people, and we did it one night. And on our way out, my mom knew that we were going to like one of the youth group leaders' houses, and she called him. And when we got there, they were ready for us. So the wife like sprayed one of the kids with a hose, And then the dad,
What?
the dude, like was whipping tomatoes
That's
at
hilarious.
us, and like he threw one, and it splattered on the window like next to my head, and I'm like, if that would have hit me, I think I would have gotten knocked out because he
Yeah.
was like a big, like fit dude.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite funny.
We got TP'd. Like, when I was a kid, we had this huge tree in our front yard, and we didn't hear anything. We just woke up in the morning and just a bunch of toilet paper everywhere.
We used to fork them too, so you would take all the plastic
That's
silverware
so
and
much
stick
work.
them in there.
I remember
but
that,
we would have
but-
like 7 or 8 girls doing it,
Yeah.
so
But
we would all
that's the
go
thing.
out, and it would take 5 minutes, and the whole place would be covered.
I don't know how you do it silently, though. Like, I don't know how we didn't wake
You're
up.
on a mission. Be quiet.
Yeah.
And if someone starts talking,
You know
throw
how
'em
hard
out.
that is for him?
Yeah.
Like,
They start talking, you stick a fork in them.
Yeah.
I got money here for you. It's $1,000. A chance for you to go fund yourself. So last chance today. I think the week. So listen. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword cash at WMMS.com. That's cash. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Alan Rover has said that he keeps the heat in his house at 78.
I would.
Jesus
If I could, I would.
Christ.
And you know the mall that he has of a house.
I was going to say, he's got like
Yeah,
a
right.
hospital-sized
think of
house.
think of his heat bill.
Oh, my God.
78.
His heat bill is more than Mary
78.
made.
Yeah. His heat bill's more than I made last year. No, I would definitely. If I could do that, I absolutely would. And then I would be comfortable sitting in my house in like shorts and a tank
No
top.
way. That is too hot.
It's not that hot.
You're surrounded
not
by
in shorts and a tank top.
but
It's not.
in a confined space that's hot.
No, it
like
isn't.
it's
78's a little high. 75 would probably be
you're
where
surrounded
I'd be
by
very
heat.
comfortable.
I don't like being surrounded by heat.
And I subscribe to the fact that your thermostat, what it's set at, is not the same as the temperature in the room. I don't believe that. I think what you set it at, it's usually 2 to 3 degrees cooler than what it is in the room. So if you set it at 70, most of the time it's going to be hovering around 68, 69. And then it'll kick on to get you back to 70, and then it goes back down to 68. So if you set it at 78, you're probably hovering around 75, 76 most
That's
of the
still
time.
really hot.
That's not that hot. I would love that. I would love that.
My condo's old, so we have like steam heat. And
Steam?
Like basically, like we have like a
We have radiators.
Like the Ramones
yeah.
sang about.
Yeah, it's like steam, right? Isn't it? It's
No.
hot water going through it.
Yeah, but it's
I guess it's not steam. Yeah, it's not steam.
It's forced
All
heat.
right, well, I had my
You're
Mary
s-
moment.
You're sitting in like a sauna. You're
Yeah, but
pouring
like so
water on
it's hot
coals.
water, and
It's forced heat.
it gets
hot.
real hot
Yeah.
and it's nice in the winter, but there's a lot of old people in my building that don't turn theirs down. So
Oh, God.
I keep my windows open. I keep my condo around 70 degrees.
Yeah.
But when you walk out into the hallway, especially in like the other side of the building where there's more old people living, it's so hot.
It's like they're going bananas in
85
there.
degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you go to that front elevator in the building, I'm getting sweaty just standing there.
Well, old houses have steam radiators, but I don't think that's what he has.
But it's not steam coming out of it. It's not steam that's heating your house like a
Oh, no,
sauna
not heating your house, right.
or a steam room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
keep saying
it's
sauna.
like
it doesn't get foggy.
That's
hot
what I
water
mean,
pipe.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like hot water pipes is what's going through. But then the heat,
It's like the old apartments when they clang.
Yeah.
They go bang, gang, gang.
Yeah,
You're
and then your
"Oh
heat's
my
kicking
God."
on.
Yeah.
It took us, this is back to the toilet paper in people's houses thing. It took us like 3 or 4 times before we realized it was the people at Dollar Tree calling the cops, because we're like, how do we keep getting caught? It was like, well, 7 girls just went and spent $400 on toilet paper. At
They
Dollar
ratted you
Tree.
out?
It had to have been, because they knew there wasn't a time that
I mean,
the cops didn't come get us.
But a neighbor could have looked out the window, right? I mean,
yeah, I guess. But then we just assumed it was the people at the Dollar Tree.
I can't imagine anybody at Dollar Tree cares at all what
They
people
see a
are
bunch
doing
of
with it.
girls checking out. Each of us have 7 or 8 rolls of toilet paper, and we got all of the plasticware in the entire place. And they're like, something's going on.
Yeah.
So
You
that's, you're also in Berea where everything's real close together.
Yeah.
When we do it, like in Medina, we had the cover of night. It
Yeah.
was darkness. Like
You're in the
you couldn't-
sticks.
Cornfields,
nothing.
yeah, you could run.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting how big Medina is. Like
And I wasn't in the city of Medina. I was out in the township area, so I was in the country.
Yeah, I don't go out that way that much.
That's why I don't appreciate people being into country music when they didn't live in the country like I did.
No, that's why. He's a purist. He's a purist.
You're trying to
He's like,
appropriate
hey.
my culture.
He's like, hey, if I lived out there and thought it sucked, you have no business being into it.
Grow up.
Alan Mary actually has it backwards. Once it gets below where you set it, it kicks on, so it's usually a little warmer than where you set it.
No,
I think
I
it
don't
depends on
believe
the
that.
season.
I don't believe that for 1 minute.
You know what? I think you should go with your gut.
Thank you.
I think you should set your thermostat wherever. And if
It's like we've compromised on 70.
if you demand that your home be 78 degrees,
I love that.
ugh. Okay, let me break. The Bill Squire Friday Get Down is not far off. That's how we know that the weekend is officially underway around these parts. It's brought to you by Cleveland Whiskey, so we'll do that shortly. 35192 if you want to text. You can always leave us messages on the talkback button there on the iHeart Radio.